Hello everyone, Something.2, welcome to another mod overview, this time on rice and sushi, a mod that simply adds in a bunch of food types, a few crops, and additional tools for rice paddies. So, we'll start from left to right, and we'll start with the salt deposit. We'll then move on to the tools though, just in case for the paddy, and then we'll end off with the food and seeds and so on. So, the salt deposit appears in oceans and rivers, similar to oceans and beaches specifically, I mean. And yeah, so if you happen to get salt from it already, you can craft it back if you want. But breaking it itself with a woodpick or higher, you'll get about 2 or 3 as far as I've come across with breaking these without fortune. And when you do use fortune, you get 4, I'm pretty sure. Or you obviously get the chance of getting less, but I've found that pretty much the highest you get of salt drops is pretty much 4, which obviously you need to then make it back into the deposit again. So there's that. You can also use salt for caramel apples, along with caramel, which is just smelted or smoked or campfire cooked sugar, and obviously a green apple or red apple. So there's that. Next we have the homie, I think it is, and you pretty much make this like so, with sticks and any materials, with a shovel and then the 2 on the sides, and yeah, you pretty much use this with dirt that is under water. So as long as you've got 1 block of water, it should be fine. You can also do it with more water above it, but yeah, it has to be underwater for you to then use it. You can use it on ground and it's still not going to do anything. Even if I just have the dirt here, for example, and say I wanted to convert it, and I didn't have the grass connection at all, it's still not going to do anything, so it has to be underwater by 1 block at least. Otherwise, I'm assuming the durability of many of these are pretty much what you'd expect as well. Yep, they're pretty much exactly the same as typical tools. So yeah, so it's pretty much just a paddy creating hoe of sorts, I guess, in a way, for tools. So there's that. In terms of things you can obviously put there, there is obviously rice, which you can, once you get enough of it, make a rice bowl, and then make a bunch of other ingredients. There is no mention of it on the wiki how you get this, so my guess is that it's similar to hitting for wheat seeds with grass, so I can only assume, as there's no other mention, and there's no structures added, or mobs, so my guess is it's similar to seeds. You place it in the paddy, of course, and we'll get some bone meal to then see how it goes. Oh, okay, we've already got growth to great. Quite high, so I'll just turn that down so we can see what growth stages it has. Down to 1. We'll just break that. So place this here. You can do 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 2 or so there, and then up here you can break the top, and it still breaks the bottom one. So there's that. Okay, so you can do the top or bottom once it gets further enough. So there's that. And obviously we've got our rice, which can be used for the food or as seeds, and can't be consumed on its own. So there's that. Otherwise, in terms of things you can use a rice bowl with, you've got dried kelp, and then a bunch of meats, such as calamari. You've got rotten flesh you can use along with, cooked chicken for certain different types, and then salmon. And then we otherwise have the apple pie, which is 2 apples, an egg and sugar. And the green apple, I assume, is just something you find in oak trees as well, but we'll check the wiki just in case. Identical to it from oak and dark oak, yeah. Sorry, drops from birch the same way as oak and dark oak, so there's that as a possibility. But otherwise, yeah, that's pretty much it for those aspects, but we'll, I guess, check squids and see what our calamari chances are while we're So just spawn in a bunch of them, just because why not? And get a suitable sword. Okay, there we go. And we have a fair bit of calamari dropping, I assume one each. I'll do. Just to one hit them, I guess. So we've got the ink sacks, and we've got our raw calamari here. Don't know if they're that common though, it seems. Nope, so we've got 2 that time. So we might get a fair bit from each. No, but it doesn't always drop. So there's that. And I assume looting would still play a part. So there's that. Otherwise, we'll find out what we get from each food or meal. So we'll just get this here, we'll get the hunger effect, and we'll consume the food and see what we gain. So with a green apple, it's pretty much the same as a regular red apple. With calamari that is uncooked, you've got 1.5. With cooked calamari, you have 4. With an apple pie, you have 4. With a caramel apple, you have 2, and speed, and I think that's it. You've got caramel, which gives you half. You've got salmon sushi, which gives you 3. Chicken sushi, which gives you 3. Calamari sushi, which gives you 3. And gas station sushi, made obviously with rotten flesh. And the following ingredients gives you 2 blindness and nausea. So not exactly the best, but if you are lacking in obviously options, you could go with it, but it's probably best to just go with rotten flesh if you are out of resources, of course, for food options, or just dried kelp, pretty much at that point. Or the rice bowl, actually. We'll try the rice bowl and see if we can consume that. I just assume it's not just an ingredient. Yes, you can, which gives you 4. So there's that. But, yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it. Thanks so much for watching, and goodbye. If there's anything in that obviously worth considering, is obviously the wiki to look to as well. So, yeah. Okay, so the rice plants generating swamps, that's what I was missing, so there's that. We'll actually try looking to a swamp and see if we can find one before going. Let's see, slash locate biome, we want this, and then we want swamp. Let me see if we get lucky with any rice plants. Keep finding this biome, it seems. Okay. Is there any standout? Because it is supposed to be just like what? This? And then we'll get bone meal just in case. Looks like that, possibly. And we're in a small swamp, so we're not really seeing anything, I guess. That's just something else. Here we go. So we've got a mature enough rice plants. So they're not that common, surprisingly, but they do appear probably enough in the world for you to get started, at least. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, and goodbye.